Okay, Mr. Martinez, you can come up now. Okay, Mr. Martinez, you got 3 minutes, so go ahead.
You know what?
What's that, yeah?
This is what I want to tell everybody. You know, there's a gathering people in this town. Gathering people. You know, there's some messed up people in this town as well.
All over.
Yeah, there is. You know, and to condone something like that, it's not acceptable to me. You know, we're supposed to protect the people in this town. What the hell's going on? I don't get it. I don't get it. And you're gonna have them sit right there when he's going to make the death threats. Come on. You're the mayor. They're supposed to be protecting these people here.
Like I told Mr. Abbott, I will go ahead and get a hold of sheriff department and see what went on. I'm sure they did a report on it.
You know, I trust you. You've been a friend of mine for years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know these people. I know all these people here.
Right.
You know, it's not right. You know,
And the thing is, you know, when I say something, I go do it. I don't just say it to say it. I will go ahead and I will go down to the sheriff department and see what went on.
you know what? There's always been corruption in this town. Always. Ever since I grew up here. I grew up here. You know?
Unfortunately, yeah, it's all over the place.
It is, but we're condoning it. You know, we're letting it happen. Why? Where's the police? Where's the money for law enforcement here? They're supposed to protect and serve. Where they at?
Unfortunately, nobody wants to apply.
Why? Because every time they do something, they get swept under the carpet.
Everybody that I've talked to at Walsenburg, Trinidad, they're having problems trying to find employees. And it's getting people just don't want to work. And I mean, they've got guys going to the academy, some are making it, some
You know,
ain't
I'm
making
gonna tell
it.
you, you know, I'm gonna protect these people in this town. You know, if they need me and they need my help, I'm gonna help them. Always have. Always have. I'm not a taker, I'm a giver. I always have been. Always. You know, there's another side to me too, but I buried it. I'm not that person no more. I'm not. I help people. That's what I do. But I'll tell you what, I'm not gonna put up with bullshit like that. I'm not going to. It ain't gonna happen. Robert, I'm gonna protect it. I'm telling you, they need to leave a be.
Like
You don't
I
put
say-
your hands on people. You just don't do that.
Like I say, I'll check it out, and you know I will.
You know, I trust you. I trust you, man.
I'll check it out.
You know, there's good people here. There's new faces, and they wanna know. They wanna know how this town is. You know, and we're not setting a good example. We're not. There's drugs that are running rapid here, and nothing's being done. Nothing, man.
You're absolutely right. Us board members are supposed to lead by the example.
That's right.
We're
And they
supposed
are.
to.
Okay.
We've
You said one
had
thing.
one.
Board members are supposed to lead by
Now we got
example.
another one.
Why is he still sitting here at this table there?
Yeah, like I
I mean, if
said,
you're supposed to lead by example, why is he still at this table?
Why is he still at this table?
I'll listen to it, Ted. He's not. Look what he's done. Has he did that? Has he put his hands on people? No, he has not.
Ted,
Also calling people very bad names on the internet and degrading me and making my life.
Am I doing that?
Listen, you're not.
No, I'm not.
She wasn't asking questions.
so,
And this is.
Ed, you got to go, so I'll get you an I'll
You know, I just want everybody to know.
We know. What happened to the sheriff's deputy?
You know I'm right. You know I am.
We haven't got the contract in yet.
It's been, what, 3 months now?
It's been a month.
Months,
No, it wasn't months, last meeting.
so. Matter of fact, they just called me about that today. All right, moving on.
They called you about it today?
Yeah, they told me about the contract today.
And?
I said I'd check into it. Well, that's not good. See what we have for our next step.
No one wants to share information around here. What just came out of this is obviously people think that this whole mess is me.
That's it. We gotta go ahead.
Obviously, everyone's thinking this whole mess is me. I'm not the one who started attacking me here, and all I'm doing is telling the truth to the people out here on what I see going on. That's what the problem is.
Really, we're still pulling water in? That is untrue. You don't even know what's going on.
Okay, let's go on.
Answer her question.
No, you guys don't.
Well, just because you're done, you said that I'm making accusations of hauling water in. I asked if the water was still being hauled in.
No, you didn't. I watched your YouTube last night. You degraded everybody, and everybody's sitting in this board right here.
What did I say to degrade everyone? Tell me what I said. Now she's running her mouth like I've done something that I haven't done, and she's accusing me of something. Like every other time that I come up here, you guys accuse me of everything. Now you start communicating with accusing me of things, and then I never had a chance to defend myself. Said just what she just said.
Okay, building inspector.
Thank you both for your time. Bring some good news. We know we've had been a lot of discussion about dogs running around the streets. So I want to tell you guys, I've been working hand in hand with the Colorado Humane Society and working on these issues we have with the dogs. They've come down here and met with me, and we've met with actually homeowners. In particular, one that's been we've had a lot of complaints about. That homeowner in particular agreed to surrender half of their animals, and the Humane Society is going to help them with spay or neutering of the rest of their animals. So we have, of course, it's an issue here in town. It's no secret. They're going to work with us and help us out. So that one issue is going to be addressed. It should be addressed in the beginning of next month. So,
And where are they out of?
you know, the best they told me they're an hour and a half out of here. So I'm not sure. So they have a big caseload, a lot of things going on. So they came out here, took pictures of dogs, spoke with homeowners, and they're gonna work with them, and their homeowners agreed to surrender.
Can I just interrupt you?
Yeah.
The one you know, Paul's down in Trinidad,
We did, but they don't have any room anymore.
well, that's all I said, it's given to.
So this outfit, they have their own vehicle, their own vets or whatever.
They do, and they said too, when the homeowners surrender their dogs, that they're not putting them down, they're gonna get them adopted out. So it's not like they're going to a kill shelter, nothing like that. They've been actively working with me and keeping in touch, and they did a great job. I really appreciate their help, because we needed them, that's for sure. I've also been, of course,
Need to ask you something. What kind of ordinances do we have concerning animals within town?
We have one, I think, that we worked on it, but we don't have anything about cruelty or anything like that.
Okay, because I think that in making a ordinance or whatever, we need to also include on there that any pet owner has to have an enclosed area and gates and everything, because Grego doesn't have a gate. So his dogs are gonna come out. If you don't put a gate up, they're gonna run all over town.
I could agree with you more. I haven't,
A lot of people do that, all, that's a problem.
Well, that's what we need to do, is have an ordinance saying, if you have an animal, you need to have a gate, you need to have a fence. Keep them in there.
at the bottom of my report, I have this, that when we do have, we get a town attorney, if we could have, adopt some negligence ordinance. I mean, I think right now all we have is for licensing, and you can't bury them at a certain place. That's all we have. So, like, my hands are tied as far as what I can do to help out. But if we get these ordinances, then we can, be more proactive with that.
Yeah, that's why I was asking Tyler, because I don't know what we have.
Mr. Romero, I remember it was correct, you were on board, I think, isn't there another ordinance stating that they can only have 4 as well?
I thought there was another one in it, but I
We
can't.
made that when I was on the board last.
Yeah,
There were only about 4 dogs.
Well, these people, I said, the one that we had several complaints over, they're gonna surrender at least half of their animals, so they're willing to do it.
Yes, I know at one time we had a person here in town had 30 cats. And finally I got contact with the Humane Society with them, and they surrendered all of them but 5, I think it was. but this person had 30 cats at one time. So, I mean, when they came down, they had a big van and everything, they were out of Springs. So that's why I was asking.
I want to say she said the hunt there, but I'm not sure if that's in her, I could swear that's what she said, but I'm not 100% on it. The animals are they're being surrendered, they're all the females, and the males are gonna help them, so they don't reproduce after this, and try to do it, so they don't have any cost to them. I mean, it's challenging, it's expensive, I would imagine.
Can you, next time you're in contact with them, can you give us like any business card or anything?
Yeah, I do have one, I can reach you guys if you'd like that.
Have them email something down or fax something. Get it black and white.
Yeah, not a problem. It is super awesome, it's helpful.
Yeah, we gotta get the dog problem under control. It's been like that for years.
You know, it's really a challenge. Of course, like I've been assisting ladies with the meter reads. They, once again, I'll say this again, they've done far more than I have, but I've been out there too to assist them with that, and it's been a challenge. And I think we have some new employees now, so that should help with the workload. It's been stressful for everybody, but we're doing the best we can, especially them. Like, so they do far more with that than I do, so I appreciate them myself. We've also been providing maintenance on the vehicles and minor repairs. So I'm not a mechanic. Minor repairs meaning changing out light bulbs, getting oil changed, things like that, so we can keep them going. And I said I'm not a mechanic, but try to do what we can, you know, so we can. Well, the Navajo closed now, so we can't take them there. So that's another little roadblock we have. But we've been managing it and taking care of that stuff. Again, as usual, I've been sending out code enforcement letters. I have a lot of compliance, and I really appreciate that from the community. I do have some, again, that seem, I don't know, they're more challenging to address than other people. And the only solution, I think, to that is to talk to them more, get them more, and if it's need be, then they need to get something and speak to the judge about it, because enough is enough. I mean, everybody else doesn't work on the yards and take care of it. Now, again, too, I see the challenge being that there's a lot of elderly people here that can't physically do it. They can't afford to do it. So that's a challenge that I have. I mean, I don't want to send somebody that's 80 years old that, you know, is on limited income and send them to court. I don't think that's okay.
Oh, I know that for me.
Did you ever make a list?
I do have a list of people that need the help. I can give that goes to you guys.
Yeah, if you can get that and,
The older one.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
you know, get somebody involved, going to help these people, you know, snow removal, cutting weeds or whatever. So, yeah, if we can get that list, then see if we can get volunteers up, go over there and see if we can get some of this stuff done. That'd be great.
Even myself, I even told Tara this in the beginning, like, if somebody needs it, elderly can't afford it, I don't care, I'll go out there. If you guys are okay, I'll go out there and cut the grass or chop the, I'm here paid by the town, so if you guys are okay, I'll go do it myself. I have no problem with that at all.
Yeah, if we can get somebody interested in it, you know, helping out, that'd be great.
I think what would be a good idea is to go around and getting young guys, older, to come in and, even if we pay them a little bit, to go help clean up yards.
There used to be a program at one time, Robert, just through, what was it? Came to the students, something to do like summer jobs.
Neighborhood youth corps.
Do they still do that?
Neighborhood youth corps.
Neighborhood youth corps.
Yeah, they don't, I just asked them, they don't do it anymore in Trinidad. Because that's who we, for years and years, they used to have that program, and you would get 2 or 3 males to work on the outside, help the crew, you know, clean up and stuff like that. And you would get maybe 1 or 2 girls that would help out in the office. But I haven't seen that happen in 5 years, 6 years.
Community service, sir. All the people in front.
On the community service, I mean, doing stuff for like the town and stuff like that, they can do that, but when it comes to private residents, I don't know, to be honest with you.
Not in the business, I don't mean to interrupt.
I got into that thing. We can send them out to do, as long as Tara approves it or whatever, we can send them in to do people's yards. But they just can't go in there and do it on community service.
Yeah.
So they have to basically register, the people have to register with the town,
Yeah.
and then from there dispatch that.
Yeah.
So that's another idea.
Yeah, maybe some help. And I also wanted to mention that with that special circumstance list that I spoke about in the last meeting, where if we have a catastrophe, we gotta evacuate people, if they don't have transportation, if they have these special needs, it's all voluntary, they don't have to give us any information. Still weekly, I'm getting letters from people in the community, I really appreciate that, it's gonna be helpful. Hope to God we don't ever have to use that, but if we do, we know who needs help and has a special circumstance needs. So I'm grateful for that.
Does the fire department have anything similar to that? Because I remember a year back then, now, they were asking for who lived in what house and how many adults were in there, kids, pets, and whatever.
When
That
they
happened
send,
years back,
well, they still send that out once a year.
yeah.
Especially, fire department, they send that out once a year, addresses and stuff like that.
Isn't that basically what he's doing?
Pretty much, I'm not familiar with the fire department doing it, but it sounds the same.
Yeah. So we got two different agencies.
You're working with them though, right? The fire department, the ambulance.
I have been here and there, but we haven't discussed this aspect of it.
You might want to get ahold of the fire chief and talk to him about that. And see if we can work together on that and gotta get something going.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that, contact him tomorrow.
Yeah, just, if you can find him, I'll tell him what he's doing. Got anything else for us?
No, just to be, Mr. Romero mentioned earlier tonight about the ordinance, once we get attorney, I think that'd be super helpful for the town. Again, I know a lot of people say, code enforcement guys and anything about the dogs, but really my hands are tied, I can't do a whole lot. But if we had that, then it'd make it a valuable tool for, to help this situation we're in.
Anything else from the board?
All right, thank you.
Not that. Gas report. If you look at your office report, it's got the gas report, office report, and utility report in it.
I don't have,
I don't have any.
I don't have one either.
You have one in your packet? What's in your envelope?
Oh.
You got one? I don't have it.
I got the office report.
Yeah, that's got everything in it.
Well, the only thing that I don't have in it, it says financials are attached and current as of December 22nd. The only thing I have is the checks were sent out. I don't have anything else. Is that all the financials?
No.
No.
See, I don't have the report. You don't know. I don't have any of that.
Sure, every packet.
So it's back there, back until you want to have it.
You
No.
got nothing. It's all good.
So it's all the way down, folks. A big organization, all that stuff, all the way down. And the part of the whole, everything in there. We're not going by that, we're going together.
Oh,
Excuse me, Joe.
In your packet also, there is the Gonzales Diggs meeting on February 5th at 10 a.m. Anybody like to attend it?
You have somebody designated for that time?
It should be,
when was that again?
February 5th.
I'm gonna be held here. Yeah.
I think the proxies were.
sorry, what did you say?
Also, wait a minute, Yes, he didn't use it.
The office report, that's where I was asking about the financials.
She didn't, they're not in there along with a lot of other stuff, that's not in there. We'll put them in your boxes for tomorrow.
I do have some questions though about all the checks that we mailed out.
Yep.
We're not in the financial.
That kind of cool.
No, we're still in the salary report.
Office report there.
Yeah, that's the office report.
Financial.
If you look at your agenda, we come down to approval of bills and all that stuff.
There should be the balance sheet and the income statement, it's not in there.
And this one, yep.
And there's other stuff in there.
Okay.
Okay, so gas report, office report, utility report, did everybody read those or?
I would also like, some council members, when you have time, to go up to where the pressure vault is at, and see if they can put a fence around there, it's just wide open and
Where is it at?
up there by, if we get to the trails.
Or power problems up there.
I think, I really don't think we need to go look. I know we've had problems up there. I make a motion to go and put a goddamn fence in up there, because this has been okay.
Well, I thought we were supposed to have fences around there too anyway. Go ahead, whoever make the motion, go ahead.
I'll second.
Which well is this?
It's the pressure vault up there by West's house going out up to the roof.
Basically, for 1, 2, 3. I mean, the small wells don't keep around the pressure ball field.
It's just wide open and someone can just push the lid and
It's happened and we're not gonna put it outside anymore.
So we have a motion and a second, roll call. Yeah. Go for it,
Mr. Prochip,
Yes.
Mr. Piano,
Yes.
Mr. Forrest.
Yes.
Mr. Romero,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Thorne.
Yes.
And then also on the Mauricio well right now too, they're looking at that as well. The chlorine pump is not turning off with the well like it was before. So they're gonna have to put a timer on the chlorine pump itself as well.
There's a problem with electricity or something.
Yeah, it's, for some reason, there's getting surges up there, and it's knocking out the clock, so when you knock out the clock, you shut the water off.
Yeah.
But it continues with the chlorine.
Yeah.
So,
As far as the sanitary survey goes, we got all the little stuff that needed to be done with all the wellheads and everything cleaned out. The only thing that's gonna be major is the reservoir tank, since the roof is falling in, that it's mandated by the state that we'll have to do the reservoir, so we're gonna have to figure out supplying water in the meantime with how we're gonna do that. So,
Is that this Evergreen company you're talking about in this?
now, Evergreen is the swap with the acres for the application fund.
so basically on good years, there's a lot of water coming in. Evergreen, they'll come in, they'll pump X amount of water in there, but on good years, if they need it, they can pump it out and use it for what they, need it for up at their other wells or, so that's what that's all about.
Okay, what is the SWSP?
That's the swap with the Pioneer for Evergreen. You have to go ahead and augment, what is it, 2.7 acres of water, so part of the swap is for the town of Aguilar to use that swap for the depletion of what we're putting back so they can get their credits for us.
Okay, there's a thing, last week, I guess, well, the day of the, couple of days after that fire, we were draining water out of the fire hydrant into the ditch.
Yes, because the chlorine levels are extremely high and we had to get them down for the state.
And have one of the recommendations is to go ahead and open a fire hydrant, because you figure all the chlorine is settling on the bottom. So they have to open up the hydrant to flush that out, whereas the new water coming in that way, it's not so concentrated with chlorine.
Are the tanks irrigated?
Go up.
Is the reservoirs not aerated, or the aeration's for the sewer? Okay, I just wondering about how those chlorine sediment, I don't know about the weight of the rain, so, let's see. When this happened, did we draw emergency funds?
For emergency funds, yes, and Christie Poland, she's our representative in the area.
What was the amount of the funds?
I have not turned anything into her yet,
Then why are we getting emergency funds if there's no problem with it?
because she's gonna have to assess it. If the water hauling people that came in is gonna ask for the reimbursement, then I'll go ahead and do it. If not, they're gonna donate it to us.
Okay, and here it says that they've donated the water in their time,
Yes.
and they're going to ask for reimbursement after they donate the water in time.
They're not.
I'm just trying to make sense of what was here and what you said. So we don't know how much money is going to be in the emergency fund.
No, and we have to submit pay orders for everything. We don't get advance money.
Is there still a leak?
No, there's not.
Okay, and the only thing that I've heard, and I've asked several times on some of this, I don't get a response on it. One of them was that there was a water leak, one of the lines leaking, and the only thing that I heard is a line was capped off. That really doesn't tell us that if the leak was fixed or why the line was capped off.
It wasn't capped off. This is, existing area on our dump area where there's water that's coming out of there off of the tap that was on the whole entire, pipe itself. It was just draining water out, so when obviously tampered with it, because the splits on the part of the pipe were not stripped and the pipe was split in half. And it was,
Yeah, we're looking at that, you got a couple of
And everything I'm hearing about water, and these are legitimate questions.
well, you're gonna call me and ask me, so I can't tell you.
I'm trying to ask legitimate questions right now, and being hateful with it's not what I was saying.
No, really. I don't either. There was some help.
You know that I can't call her and talk to her. That's-
All right, let's move on.
Move on from talking about
All right. Under new business, purchasing lots behind Mercantile, changing zoning to commercial.
That's the first question I asked you that.
What?
Has Mr. Mike Sexton been asked about how all of this is going to affect him, because he lives right next to it.
Right behind the Mercantile?
He lives right behind the, Pace's Hardware and wherever all of this stuff is going in. He's right there. Mike Sexton.
There's no way to even have it.
The old,
Well, you are like really close place.
right there, you know, right, making it equal out there, it's right, it's equal out.
It's a whole jungle. Apparently they can't hear what we're saying, so we have to speak into the microphone. But I was wondering is if Mr. Mike Sexton had been talked to.
I don't know where his problem is, because his pen is right across the road from his house, back in Nugget Creek. So that has nothing to do with, the old place that Bob's going, has nothing to do with him.
Okay, well, he brought up an item that he says that anytime there's a lot of water drainage from the parking lot that's between Ace and the Mercantile is going into his yard. Huh?
I heard that's a part of the FEMA floodlight also.
Yeah, it is part of the flood.
When it runs up, it's working to a parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of what goes on there. Aaron will come in, will call you. You'll call me.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, I kind of been going through this whole thing for the last 6 years. What Bob bought was a place across, right below all that shit is across the Jones house.
Yes.
Yeah. bought it all back there, and he bought that, lot. On the other side, it's this down at Gilbert, right there behind the Burger Hill. Yeah, right behind the big building out here. And they want to take that, and they want to make that into a parking lot. Well, I'm not sure it's gonna go in the top parking lot. And those lines, you can bring in the maps, but those lines are there.
Why they trying to make something take place?
I got the maps, and they make sense to a point, because we got the street that comes in behind Barry Butler's and Big Lake Road, it comes down, I guess, back this way first down. That street comes right through there and ends on Baptist Street. The other one takes off as the old Baptist Street that took off and went up until the road washed out. And then the town had clarification, the people that owned his house at the time, not that, you know, I'm trying to think, their names, and Nancy's mom and dad, they let them move that road down there, and that's been back in the 1920s.
No longer running from Charlie.
Yes, I got it, because we used to take off across and go up above, I can show you those maps, where Jerry stuck to doing it. Went across and went into the old bridges now, but then when that's when the arroyo was only 2 foot deep and there was a small bridge. That flood come down, and that's when they moved the arroyo behind Rico's and everything, because the arroyo was spoke right behind Rico's. It's on the side of the storage bin down there, down before all that, you know, all that stuff happened back in the 20s. So down took all that stuff, they got to do arroyo, routed it, and did all that stuff. I did all the research on this stuff.
There used to be an old building back on the hill, back in the place of years.
Yeah, that was the old call out or whatever. Yeah, warehouse, but yeah, they have those used up on the top there, and, that's still there. And that's still in, the bottom part of the bottom, right on the end of it. So I think really, we're gonna get to that discussion, you guys really need to look at these maps. You need to probably actually go out there on the side and see the page, and you can see where everything went. This Baptist Street still, you still have the right of way, goes into the, right of the damn bridge you got now. It's, you can't do anything with it because that way it don't, and, Baptist Street still goes up through property, he gives permission to use, and, yeah.
So basically on the agenda, he said he wanted to, have permission to build in Arroyo. It's not that part of it, because it's already been closed off. But they were told by a resident here that there had to be, because this was the old store that they had. So he's not wanting to build in, he just wants to clarify that this is their,
No.
it's just a little different.
Basically, he wants to do is use that lot where I just moved it. You guys know where Saks Plus was?
Yeah.
Where that part had, we just got a lot of there, that's the property he wants to use right now for a parking lot, for the Orchard Building and Ace Hardware, so we have a parking lot. He wants to expand that. The other side, on the other side, right now, he's not sure what he's gonna do with that, and that's what he wants to, he'll bring that to it.
That's basically lot 11,
I don't.
according to this.
And that's where he wants to put the lumber yard.
Parking lot now, right?
Yeah, but it also addresses lumber.
It does, yeah, you're right, Jim, it
That's
does.
the future time.
That future plan?
Yes, it's what the way I look at it is right here, where the piers is, they want to go lumber yard.
And
Yeah,
he's
these
still
two,
out there.
those are the ones that, yeah, right, this one, 1, 2, 3, 4.
He also bought the lot down here across Main Street, right on the old Birdline lot, next door to, next door to Colfa's, between them and Doch's. You don't think that's big enough yet, so he wants to go back on the other side and do it where the old, we'll call it lumberyard was, and maybe do it there in center. Right now, all he wanna do is open the parking lot up and use that part where the bus and stuff was, or a parking lot for the employees for the meantime, until he figures out what he wants to do.
So it's up to the board, the decision, which you guys want to do with that.
I think we need to go out and look at it, for sure, find out what you want, and then where you want, now can we call Aaron up to explain?
Yeah.
Aaron?
Yeah, Eric, come on up.
He's not really changing everything other than he made me move my car and that's less time.
What?
Alicia, our representative.
You might want to put that to a speaker or something so everybody can hear.
Can you hear that now?
Go ahead.
Yes, I can hear.
Okay.
Okay, what's going on with this parking lot and everything?
What's going on?
I'm sorry, I can't hear very well.
Yeah.
What's going on with the parking lot? What do we want to do?
Well, right now, we're not doing anything with the parking lot. We're just going to mow it down and park some cars. But what we would like to do is have all of our lots that we just purchased, we'd like to have those zoned commercial. And then eventually what we'd like to do is build like a small warehouse to house extra feed and lumber. And then there's also on that survey plot, there's some arroyo, and what we'd like to do is just have the road, because there's an existing traveled roadway, so if instead we could take the road basically from the gas station parking lot to go all the way up to Baca Street, that would be great, because that way then, you know, it's not kind of weaving in throughout all those lots.
What does the board feel about it? Do you want to look at it? Do you want to table this? What do you want to do?
I think, really, Alicia, this is Mark. You can hear me.
Hi, Mark.
I think, really, you guys need to look at the maps that are there, so I can get a better feeling of this before we make a decision. I don't have no problem doing it, but you guys gotta look at what, because they kind of come into part of our roads and then they go back out. And, it's kind of like your property over there. You gotta look at his.
Well, it doesn't really go into any of your roads. Technically, the town is on our property on the road.
That's what I'm saying, but we got a road in between.
Yeah.
Their property comes into our road going out of the back of the working field, but it's only in that much, I mean, very little. But I think if you guys, you got the maps, we can call a special meeting, either do it the next meeting. How big of a hurry are we into, Alicia?
Well, I mean, we'd like to, you know, start as soon as we can. Obviously, we do need to get those zoned commercial, so, you know, we'd like to start within a month or so.
And then right there where they're talking about where Bertrand's lot was, where the bus was, that basically is their lot. I mean, it doesn't bother us much at all. If they want to put whatever they want to put in there, you know, as long as it meets the town's requirements, they can put a parking lot in there and do whatever. Or it's, you know, our ordinances read right now. It's the other parts that go up on the other side, all over the road, and that's the problem we have right now.
So what's the procedure to zone them commercial?
Basically, I mean, I don't know why those went road commercial to begin with, because you got the lumber yard up there, and his buildings are down there below too, so I don't know how that got out of our, and Tyler and I looked at that, and when they come in and did that thing in 72 or 73, through I can't remember what the program was, but, they kind of cut them out of there. You know, the ones they kept the industrial down at Rockies, they kept up part of the commercial up there by you, and that one they kind of missed with commercial, but I guess everything didn't get so long, they just missed doing it. Nobody even thought it'd become commercial again at one time, but at that time, we really didn't have classifications on the town maps. They did part of yours, part of Robbie's down there, and there's one other piece up here that's even, it got taken out where the housing was. That's when they turned it into residential back in the 70s on that. But,
I'd like to make a motion that we zone it commercial.
okay, that's all good. Let them get their parking lot in anyway. And then we can adjust the other side another time, is the way I see it. I'll second that.
Brandon.
Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes.
Mr. Piano,
Yes.
Mr. Forrest,
Yes.
Mr. Romero,
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Mr. Thorne?
Yes.
Okay, so, then load it and that it would be commercial.
There you go.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you very much.
How about the second part?
You know, that's not hard, you guys look at it.
We'll table that until we have some kind of drawing or some kind of idea of what they're gonna do, so we'll table that one. Yeah, I mean,
They understand that before. Okay. I'll say just in case somebody doesn't start. Okay.
Okay, next thing on here is, set recall election date for trustee Glenn Thorne.
So it's all done.
I'd like to make a remark on the signatures. There's two people that are on that list that want to recall their signatures. They want to take their signature off of it. Yes, you can.
You have 15 days to appeal it, and you've already passed the 15 days.
They could withdraw their signature up till 48 hours before the ballot goes out. I have to check into this. So they're going to withdraw their signatures.
After we spoke to them?
I haven't spoke to them. Yeah.
So what dates are you guys looking at?
March 7th.
March 7th.
That's there with everybody?
Yes. I'll make the motion, if we need a motion.
Yeah, go ahead and make the motion.
I'll second.
Need a second?
So good.
Mayor Pro Tem? Yes. Mr. Piano?
Yes.
Mr. Morris?
Yes.
Mr. Romero? Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Thorne?
Abstain.
Before we get into the correspondence part, I bring something else up.
What's that?
Every time there's an election, normally what you do is you select some of the, all of the town trustees back on committees, to be on committees. We have some that, who are committees that look at things that need to be improved, that either like town hall, the utilities department, gas department. And if they gather at the next meeting, they're asked if there's any kind of changes that they would like to see done. And then it's up to the members to decide which way to go.
What happened was we had talked to the attorney, and the attorney stated that to have committees wasn't a very good idea.
What attorney was it?
That was Hyatt, the one that this
He's
was
gone. He's gone.
So, but we haven't had committees for the town for the last, geez,
It's been a while
so,
since I was in it.
Well, the thing is, instead of having committees, they moved into having a library board, a housing board, and the housing board was supposed to be make reports to the town. The library board is supposed to make reports to the town.
I'm not talking about them. I'm just talking about us. I don't care about anything else.
Well, I don't know if you're just talking about the town itself.
I'm talking about the board members here, the town itself, the government for the town back.
Doing what?
To have the different committees and then report to all of us to see if there's any changes we would like to see done. Or not, whatever.
Well, that's kind of why we said it should, because nobody ever met, nobody ever did anything. And the thing is, we kind of rely on our town staff and everything to bring that to the town council. To get something done. I know, but I mean, if you want something done different, Bob, I'm not gonna argue with it, I'm
Yeah.
just saying what we did.
Well, I'm just saying that I think that that's one thing that we should do.
Okay.
And I make a motion that we do
month?
Trustee committees?
Yes.
Okay, approval of the bills.
I also say something before we start on that. Just one thing, the bills are already paid. And that was going on when I was a trustee.
Right.
Why can't we just say, we acknowledge that the bills have been paid? Which they already have.
But it gives you a chance to ask questions in case there's
Well,
something you
you
don't like.
still can ask.
What?
But it's like
$9,300
to the MGM.
Still asking before we stay.
For the water,
Already
it's got all
repairs and stuff.
the meters need to be
Meter
replaced.
repairs, the leaks, all the stuff that they've been doing.
And I agree with Bob, none of this stuff really tells us, because we don't know the codes. You know, all we see is the name and the number of what was paid and the date it's paid on. We don't even know what the codes are. But there's several on here that are, checks are made out to, the town of Aguilar.
If you look on there, those are the ones that go to the bank for the 941 and for the unemployment and that stuff that go through the bank. And then it's a POP, so they get online at the unemployment and at the 941.
That doesn't really clarify that.
What's the number?
What's the 941 type?
The taxes for the employees.
Okay.
Social Security, federal.
taxes, which I was important.
Thank you. Can you put a little code next to it, taxes or Medicare or whatever, state
We know where the money's going.
Thank you, Clay.
Okay, that's all.
I have a question for that safety. This is safety. You know, has to do with safety. Do we have a cop? Right.
No, not right now.
We don't.
Nope.
Well, how come I always see it, a car parked in, down here in town, right? Every Monday, you go through and the cop car's there, parked all day.
That ain't a
And
cop
there-
car. Not a cop car.
What's that?
It's not a cop car.
It's surf on there.
Don't say
No,
that.
it's not.
No.
Who is it?
That's code enforcement.
And, so you can hire no cop.
Not yet.
So put that guy with a gun in here.
So.
Well, good.
No, it ain't a gun, that's a taser. So. What's that?
Yes.
We have a contract waiting still. We have a contract ready for the sheriff's office for a deputy to be up there full time.
Okay, approval of bills.
I'll make a good deal.
Roll call.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
Mr. Ford?
Yes.
Mr. Romero?
I acknowledge that the bills are paid.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Glenn?
Yes.
No one is there.
Okay, adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn. Yes.
Talking about you or what? Talking about, I know, you just came down. Yeah. And it's not even auto. That's in Colorado.